Please don't mean what I think that means. Are you kidding me, Game Freak? So recently, the Pokémon Company International unveiled the first real trailer for the next generation Pokémon games, Scarlet and Violet, set for release later this year. The actual first trailer for these games several months ago only showed us the starters and sweeping landscapes, so I've been itching to see some gameplay ever since then. Now, despite the title of this video, I think there's a lot to like from the trailer. The new Pokémon designs continue to impress, even the legendaries. An all-new co-op mode seems really promising and leans into that MMO territory that a lot of fans have been dreaming of. And the trailer reconfirms just how open this new game will be compared to previous mainline entries, with the Pokémon Company themselves directly tweeting, "The first open-world RPGs in the series. You're free to explore at your leisure, not in an order dictated by the story." That line right there should already put it well above the likes of Sword and Shield, and I wouldn't have needed to make this video if Sword and Shield was the only recent Pokémon game that we could compare to. Now, whether you consider Pokémon Legends Arceus a mainline entry or just another spin-off, the advancements it made to the Pokémon formula cannot be ignored. I'm sick of hearing people say, "Oh, it can do this because it's a spin-off," or "Oh, it's just because it's a different genre." Pokémon Legends Arceus made necessary changes that felt like a natural evolution of the Pokémon gameplay. For example, Sword and Shield are the first mainline entries to have overworld Pokémon that you walk into instead of just random encounters all the time. For most RPG series, overworld encounters are the logical progression from random encounters. The next step up would be to actually interact with the overworld Pokémon instead of being teleported to some battle arena. This is where Legends Arceus passes with flying colors. The act of simply entering a Pokémon battle becomes a game itself, since the overworld Pokémon now behave like real living creatures instead of walking portals to a battle arena. And once you engage in battle, it just happens right then and there, which makes sense because that was the Pokémon you were eyeing all along, not some completely different, improperly scaled asset. Now, thankfully, in Scarlet and Violet, it does look like battles will still happen right then and there instead of being transported elsewhere, but you have to walk up to a Pokémon to engage in battle, just like Sword and Shield. And it plays a battle intro sequence like the old games as well. So what's the point of even having the battle in the same spot as the encounter if the encounters themselves are back to being scripted? I could be wrong, heck, I hope I'm wrong, but if the overworld mechanics from Legends Arceus were making a return, I'm sure there would have been at least one example of it in the trailer. Battles, and especially catching Pokémon, just feels so much more snappy in Legends Arceus. I can't see myself going back to the way it was in Sword and Shield. In the older Pokémon games with random encounters, I get it. It makes more sense to have an intro sequence and all the other scripted elements. But the future is now, Game Freak. You've shown us it yourselves. In Scarlet and Violet, it looks like you can't even move your trainer around in battle anymore, as proven by the panning camera. Wait just a second though, because there's a silver lining to all this. The traditional battle system looks to be back. True turn-based Pokémon where you can't get attacked twice in a row. It's a proven formula that's been fine-tuned with every new entry. It's the one part of Pokémon games that doesn't really see much criticism. Well, besides gimmicks like Dynamax, but thankfully there doesn't seem to be any of that in these new games, at least not yet. However, I should also mention that there's a caveat to this silver lining. With the return of the classic battle system comes the return of the classic attack animations. Just when we thought Game Freak figured out how to animate the move Tackle, we're back to having no contact between the Pokémon. I wouldn't even be surprised if we're also back to Pokémon not being properly scaled in battle, although at the very least I'd hope Game Freak has figured that out by now. The perfect next-generation Pokémon game, in my opinion, would take the refined battling system from Sword and Shield and combine it with the fluidity of encounters and battles from Legends Arceus. If I want to chuck an Ultra Ball at a lower-leveled Pokémon while running past them, or riding past them, let me do that. But if I'm facing a higher-leveled Pokémon, or a trainer battle, let me use the classic battle mechanics that are already proven to work. Now, I understand that Legends Arceus and Violet Scarlet were being worked on at the same time, and maybe that's the reason why Violet and Scarlet share more in common with Sword and Shield, but from a consumer point of view, it sucks big time because we were fed Legends Arceus first, and now we're supposed to eat Scarlet and Violet? That food's outdated, expired, get it out of here. I do not want to be forced to open a menu every time I change my starting Pokemon again. It's like if Heart Gold Soul Silver released after Black and White. It'd be a pretty big disappointment gameplay-wise. Honestly, it might have been better if Scarlet and Violet was rushed to market for January and Legends Arceus was the one to release later this year. Now, I don't think Pokemon games should release the same year in general, but that's besides the point. So yeah, I hope I'm just wrong about all these assumptions and this video becomes outdated itself, but if Scarlet and Violet don't carry over the improvements from Legends Arceus, it's a step backwards in my book. No Lechonk or Fuecoco can make me think otherwise.